Jeff Thomas away from Selhurst Park. He led out his team at what at the time was thought to be his last game in a Palace shirt. The game saw the debuts of both of our new signings, Alan Shearer's price tag putting him under more pressure than anyone in the league to score in his opening game. It was Richard Shaw replacing Lee Sinnott, who was suffering from flu, producing a nice cross for Mark Bright to open the score sheet for Palace after 37 minutes. Rovers were quick to reply, however, with a similarly worked cross from Mike Newell, and Stuart Ripley put in a fine header to equal the score. One had waited patiently to see if Alan Shearer would live up to his reputation for scoring in his
most expensive footballer starts to repay the fee with that cracking volley. Story, Blackburn Rovers lead, and Alan Shearer has scored 2 now.
We looked all set for a remarkable victory after that superb goal, but for the introduction of 2 young substitutes, Roger and Osborne, who put together a well-worked piece for a last-gasp equaliser. We finished our first Premier League game with 1 point, and the confidence that we had a squad capable of great things, and great things were required and supplied in the first home game of the season against Arsenal. It was Alan Shearer who stunned Arsenal with a dramatic winner 5 minutes from time. He shouldered aside lightweight winger Jimmy Carter just inside the Arsenal half to make this marvellous run and thunder in a 25-yard shot. This result put the Rovers into full party swing, and Manchester City, the next visitors to Ewood Park, were unable to stop the Rovers bandwagon when Mike Newell capped a superb display when he raced onto this neat little flick on from Alan Shearer and smashed in a drive from 12 yards. Unbeaten after 3 games of our first spell in the top flight for 26 years, the team were oozing optimism, and nice to see a goal from Mike Newell, who considers the team's performances more important than his own goal tally.
It's never bothered me. I never set any targets, and I'm always delighted when we win, as opposed to me scoring. I mean, you know, there's no comparison. And at the end of the day, if I can contribute by scoring enough goals to keep my place and warrant my place, then I'll have done, I think, enough.
Mike and his strike partner Alan Shearer led Chelsea's defence a merry dance at Stamford Bridge, and only the giant frame of their keeper Dave Besant stopped a hatful of goals. Rovers gained only a point, but retained their unbeaten record in a game that, but for a little luck, could have been another win. The last game of August, however, saw our strike force determined to have 3 points from Coventry City within the opening 20 minutes. Mike Newell, Alan Wright and Atkins had all brought diving saves from Ogrizovic. Shearer, impressive throughout, also went close with a couple of headers before being brought down in the box by Lloyd McGrath in what was a clear scoring opportunity. Alan then picked himself up and calmly sent the keeper the wrong way. Mark Atkins scored the second a few minutes later, getting up well from a Stuart Ripley cross and scoring with a superb downward header. So, with the first month of the new season at an end, the Rovers were top of the Premier League, in a position much envied by the bigger clubs. By now, other teams in the league were beginning to look at a game against the Rovers as a daunting prospect. And with Nottingham Forest having made their worst start to a season in 17 years, they could only fear the worst. Alan Shearer started to confirm their fears in the first half when Kevin Moran drifted in a free kick for Shearer to show off his acrobatic talents with an instinctive finish in front of goal. Gary Bannister on loan at Forest equalised in the 16th minute by taking full advantage of a mistake by the usually solid Kevin Moran. The roof then fell in on Forest in the second half when the defence made some appalling mistakes that the Rovers took full advantage of. Mark Atkins scoring the first following a timid challenge from Steve Chettle. And isn't this a marvellous finish? Alan Shearer's strength and pace were evident in this run into the box, and the referee had no hesitation in awarding a penalty. The crowd were calling for Shearer to take it, and he duly obliged with a clinical shot, leaving keeper Mark Crossley with no chance at all. A howling mistake from Crossley gave the Rovers a fourth, easily catching Colin Hendry's header, but look what he did then. A great result for us, but Forest looked like they were to struggle in this Premier League. We had drawn Arsenal for the second time, and no doubt the memory of their recent defeat at Ewood Park was fresh in their minds. But this was not a memorable game. 3 points were gained though when Stuart Ripley sent this lovely ball to the feet of David May. He found Newell free in the box, and it was 1-0. A delighted Mike Newell and Kenny Dalglish to have taken 6 points from Arsenal. Howard Kendall and the manager's old adversaries from Merseyside, Everton, came to Rovers. The game was not to go as planned, however, even after Shearer was brought down in the box and duly scored from his third penalty of the season. The referee then gave this as a goal after some frantic work by Bobby Mims. In or out? The decision stood, and then after 39 minutes played, Everton went in front when John Ebrell slid this one in. Alan Shearer equalised in the second half after getting on the end of this cross from substitute Jason Wilcox. But the ball was just not running our way, and Everton regained the lead when Cotty side-footed this one home just 9 minutes before time. Our first defeat of the season taking us off the top spot, but there was still a long way to go, and Kenny took his team back to Selhurst Park, this time to face Wimbledon. The game in general was a typical Wimbledon scrap, with Ardley getting in the opener after 24 minutes. Alan Shearer got the equaliser with this fine shot later in the first half. Both sides were depleted by the referee, however, Vinnie Jones inevitably being the first to go for this clumsy bit of tugging and pulling. The next decision was a little surprising when Tony Dobson was given a red card for this tackle. Not innocent, of course, but a harsh decision nonetheless. Then Mike Newell had to go for this save on the line. The manager was reported to be less than pleased with the refereeing of the game. The Coca-Cola Cup and Huddersfield Town were next up, and Ife Onyura looked as if he'd given manager Ian Ross a boost to a disappointing season with this goal. Alan Shearer thought otherwise, and his 10th goal of the season with only 4 minutes of the game remaining was a cracker. This match at Ewood Park against near neighbours Oldham was between two of the league's highest scorers at the time, but the skills of Alan Shearer so demoralised the Oldham central defenders they were both booked in the opening 2 minutes for tripping him as he made runs. Ripley was also taking advantage of all the attention Shearer was getting and made this fine header for Mark Atkins' well-placed cross. A good win after a loss and 2 draws brought September to a finish, the Rovers being in second position behind Norwich City, the surprise leaders of the Premier League. Surprise leaders they may have been, but Norwich were there on merit, and they came to Ewood Park with hopes of retaining their lead of the Premier League, but the Rovers had other things planned.
Finds David Phillips. Phillips, that just reaches through, but Hendry has snaked out a boot and sent Shearer away down the right wing. Shearer's got the pace of Butterworth, cuts inside him, excellent play Shearer, Good ball into the middle, must be a goal here, and is for Roy Wegerle. Blackburn take the lead in this match. Roy Wegerle supplying the finish, but all the hard work done by Alan Shearer. Forward ball that Wegerle's chasing, looks very hungry by Sherwood. Blackburn 2, Norwich City 0. Hendry, that's a fine challenge. Shearer again on this right flank. Shoulder charge as well, he's into the box, he's so unselfish, and Wegerle's got his second, and Shearer again has made it for him. And there's danger here. Norwich breaking clear with Rob Newman. Mims to beat, does it very well indeed, an accomplished piece of finishing. Rob Newman taking the chance. Well, Norwich not in the best of form today, and Shearer's man, banging form, banging confidence, and a terrific strike. Alan Wright finds Alan Shearer, and well, he's almost rugby tackled, isn't he, there, to be fair, by Sutton. And there's no question of a free kick on the edge of the box. Gunn will really have to be on his toes here. Gordon Cowans is the man to float and score a terrific goal. And Blackburn really rampaging through Norwich. Shearer challenges well again. Another dangerous ball in. There's Stuart Ripley, it must be another goal, and is. Ripley doesn't miss them from that range. Blackburn.
Alan Shearer's role in this 7-goal rout cannot be underestimated, scoring 2 and playing a part in the other 5. But the goal that made the headlines was the lob over Norwich keeper Brian Gunn. What was Alan thinking about at the time?
Please hit the back of the net, because I was wondering whether it was going to hit the net or just sail over the crossbar, and I was a little prayer went over mine, please hit the net. But like I say, fortunate for me, it went in. It could have went over, it could have went wide, but like I say, the luck was on our side that day and everything went in.
The scoreline obviously doesn't reflect the match, but when it's written down in the record books for years to come, it can never be obliterated, can it? I mean, they'd 7-1 and we could have lost 3 or 4 other goals, and we could also score 3 or 4 others. I think it was just one of those days that you might not see repeated again.
A good day indeed, and Ewood Park was to see another 7-goal thriller with Huddersfield in the second leg of the Coca-Cola Cup. This game was a little more even. Blackburn went ahead after 9 minutes with his powerful header from Shearer. And then 2 up when Roy Wegerle shot home after some fine work from Shearer and Newell. Huddersfield hit back after 65 minutes with his Barrett goal, and were then given a gift when this clearance from Mims rebounded into the net. Just 1 minute later, Town were in front with this nice shot from Ireland. Just when a major upset looked on the cards, Shearer headed home and put the tie into extra time. After 107 minutes, Shearer then put through Mike Newell to finish the job, and the Rovers went through 5-4 on aggregate. The next 2 games were to prove goalless for the Rovers, but a point from Villa Park and then a point off Manchester United said a lot for the quality of our team, our defence, and keeper Bobby Mims.
I don't think there's any games that you dominate for 90 minutes anyway, so the odds are that you're going to have something to do during the game, and as you say, just when it's a 0-0, that's when your attention's put onto the goalkeeper a little bit. The back four have been playing very well, but all the way through the team, we're defending from the front and we're attacking from the back, simple as that. So it's a complete team at the moment.
A complete team indeed, and ready to take on Norwich City again, this time in the Coca-Cola Cup. This game was never going to produce the avalanche of goals that the league encounter had, but Alan Shearer managed to conjure up this spectacular goal for the Rovers fans.
Well, Sherwood fancies these. Oh, it's a great goal! Shearer bangs it in. Alan Shearer, a bright smile. Gloom for Norwich City. They're all thinking about one or two ideas. The wall didn't look at all good, and it was curled away from Brian Gunn, and it's 1-0. And the problems aren't over with the corner for Blackburn, with Hendry pushing up. Newell on the near post. Gunn gets out and is there. An easy one from May.
An easy one it was, but the last game of October was not so easy at Hillsborough. The trickery of Chris Waddle, a joy to watch, but not enough to do more than share the points with the Rovers. Our league position was to be envied by more than a few of our Premier League rivals, but there was still a long way to go. Our first game in November was at home to Spurs, and we crashed to our second defeat of the season, with Spurs full of confidence after 6 consecutive wins. Their first was a miscued header from Teddy Sheringham that fell to David Howells to stab home. A twisting run from Gordon Jury forced a crude challenge from Colin Hendry, and Teddy Sheringham then tucked away the penalty. The long journey to the Dell was a return for Alan Shearer to his old club, but unfortunately not a triumphant one. Close marking by Southampton new boy Ken Cow kept Alan. Gordon Cowan sent over this tantalising cross for Kevin Moran to head just inside the post for Rovers' equaliser. And despite some good attempts throughout the game, we could only come away with the points shared. The following week, Jerry Francis and his successful QPR side visited Ewood in what was a rather frantic game from the start. Shearer being subjected to a nasty foul in the 3rd minute, which was to put him out of the game, but not before he put Rovers ahead with perhaps not one of his better goals, but it was enough to win all of the 3 points. 3 points that, despite not winning all our games in November, saw us lining up to go into the Christmas period in 2nd place behind Norwich City. The Rovers went to Ayresome Park with the reputation of having the meanest defence in the league, conceding just 5 goals in 8 away games. And when Jason Wilcox scored this stunning goal just before half-time, we should have expected the points. John Hendry, however, had other ideas, and these 3 goals were more than enough to dent our record for goals against. An own goal after 74 minutes gave us some hope, but Borough held out, and we came home empty-handed. The next opposition in the Coca-Cola Cup at Ewood Park was First Division Watford. Another goal bonanza for the home fans, 7 in all, 6 of them from Kenny Dalglish's side.
Fine challenge by Atkins in the midfield. Shearer threads that upfield for Newell. Newell picks out Atkins again. Atkins searching to the edge of the box. What a run and beautiful shot. And that's 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers. Jason Wilcox with a corner from the left-hand side. Scuffs it slightly, wobbling up and down, and there's Shearer! That's number 2 and a gorgeous corker. Alan Shearer. Chip ball to the edge of the box, helped on by Shearer again. Newell's in there, struggling for possession. There's the shot, and that's number 3. Mike Newell sweeping it in. Colin Hendry pushing up front in the 2nd period. Ripley out wide on the right, goes round his mum. Beautiful cross, the keeper's missed it completely. Alan Shearer stabs in number 4. Watford attacking down the left, promising run there and a good ball in the box, and that must be, well, that's a consolation. 4-1. Newell onto his left foot. Dispossessed there, regains possession, out wide to the left, Wilcox there. And there's the cross, and there's Newell again, and that's a Tremendous header from Mike Newell. Newell, lovely touch. Shearer again menacing. That's a gorgeous layoff, and Wegerle's through. And that is number 6, and Blackburn are running riot.
Kenny Dalglish's return to Anfield, where he'd experienced so much success as both player and manager, had been long awaited. But for both Kenny and the Rovers fans, it was to end in disappointment. The game was evenly fought until, with 15 minutes to go, Walters hit a fine strike past Bobby Mims, who stood no chance. Kenny saw this as an injustice and brought on both his substitutes, Roy Wegerle and Stuart Ripley. They almost immediately won a corner, and from that, with the instinctive skills of a truly fine player, Alan Shearer crashed this one home on the turn. Justice looked to have been served until Walters got on the end of this ball drilled across the middle. No points for the Rovers on the day when things just didn't go their way. After that defeat, points were vital in the next home fixture. But our next visitors, Sheffield United, while struggling at the bottom of the league, never made playing our style of football easy. Kevin Moran scored this, the only goal, halfway in the first half. United piled on the pressure, punting balls forward to Brian Deane, but we held them and won an important 3 points. The league champions not doing so well away from home were the next test for the Rovers on this Boxing Day fixture. A test we were more than equal to.
Kenny Dalglish watches on. The champions not in the best of form. There's Sterland again. That's one in the midfield by Cowans. And here's David May pressing forward over the halfway line now. Onto his right foot, there's an early searching cross in the box. Newell's up there and away by Gary McAllister. Back in again, Blackburn still attacking, and Tony Dorigo hacks it clear this time round. Nice bit of play by Speed, but he's given the ball away rather carelessly there. May sweeps that one over, and the offside trap's been completely sprung by Wilcox, and he just strokes it into the net, and that was a real gift for Blackburn. Leeds caught completely square. There was the run by Wilcox. It was an excellent run, a beautiful ball, and look at the finish to match. Batty competes in the midfield, wins it well. Wallace sends it out wide. Here's Sterland. Lovely crossing. There's the first time header. No problems for Bobby Mims. Imre Varadi. Chris White. It's an up and under ball from him. And that'll be a free kick on the edge of the box there. Pushing from Colin Hendry. The referee's given it Leeds' way. Well, Tony Dorigo's dangerous from here. McAllister is as well, and he scored. Gary McAllister, the captain, pulls back the equaliser for Leeds, and, well, it's gone straight through the wall, hasn't it? Speed attacking. Away by Blackburn. Alan Shearer could be in here. Shearer races into the box, shadowed by Fairclough, but brilliant save by Lukic. Alan Shearer did everything right. Pushing by Chris White. Shearer's had a bit of a rough and tumble afternoon, but he makes his doubly the goal scorer. Wilcox has really caused Leeds all sorts of problems. Chris White heads it away. Batty looking to complete the clearance, but there's Mike Newell, won't be shrugged off the ball. And it comes again from Atkins. Shearer! Good save, Lukic. Second chance there for Shearer. And rather scuffs at the effort. It's gone wide, but again, excellent effort for Blackburn. And Ripley's come forward. There's the first time shot. Oh, and it's been forced wide by Chris Fairclough. Rovers rampant now, and here's Wilcox again. Really playing well on the left. Another gorgeous cross, and Shearer scores a third. That really brilliant. Well, Shearer takes the plaudits, but Wilcox has really been outstanding. Again, a wicked ball in, and Shearer in the right place again. Wilcox spotting him free. The cross was perfect, and so was Shearer's finish. 3-1. Wilcox again, helped out by Newell. Jason Wilcox, lovely ball in. Newell with the shot there. Oh, and it was so close. Tried to chip Lukic, and he wasn't too far away. Oh, that's danger for Blackburn, and that's off the post and away there by Dobson. That was real danger. Anxious moments for Kenny Dalglish. But there's the final whistle. Victory for Blackburn Rovers against the champions Leeds. Kenny Dalglish is happy. Blackburn 3, Leeds 1.
Jason Wilcox won a well-deserved man of the match, and Alan Shearer was pleased with his 2 goals.
That hat-trick just keeps eluding me though, doesn't it? No, we've all done very well, like I say, from Bobby Mims up to a number 11, and Jason Wilcox has got the man of the match award, and I've scored 2, but I'll be the first to admit I couldn't have scored them 2 without the rest of the team. Well, Leeds play an offside game, and sometimes it's fairly easy to break that. Well, not fairly easy. You work on it to break that down. We've worked on it in the last few days, and it's paid dividends today. And that's their game, and they live by it and die by it. And we've caught them a few times today. I'm behind Jason anyway, and he's played the ball in front of me, so there's no way I could have been offside. And it's just a simple tap-in. I couldn't get an easy one this season.
This injury that forced Alan off later in the game was more than a mere knock, and the implications of it were not to be evident until later in the season. The Rovers' next trip was to Portman Road in a game that was stalemate for 73 minutes, and clear that something special was required to break the deadlock. Roy Wegley took this opportunity to step out and score a goal of stunning execution. After such a finish, the game should have been considered over. But Ipswich, so often this season, have proved to be at their most dangerous when wounded, and responded with this goalmouth scramble. The most ardent Rovers fan, however, would have to admit that Ipswich's Bulgarian international Boncho Gwenchev scored a nice one. A draw would have been fair, but the luck was with Ipswich as they scrambled in the winner with just 7 minutes to go. Despite the results, the Rovers could still face the new year in a favourable position. A position that had been won over the hard-fought first half of the season and had given food for thought to the rest of the Premier League. Are Kenny Dalglish and Blackburn Rovers here to stay? Why don't you be the judge? Off 1992, Rovers were just 4 points from the top, with Norwich, Manchester United and Aston Villa in their sights. The new year brought the Rovers into the third round of the FA Cup and a home tie with Bournemouth, who went in 1-up at half-time after Efen Okuku slid this one in. In the second half, Stuart Ripley had moved into a central attacking role and headed us level from this cross from Mike Newell. Ripley was there again to fire us into the lead with this shot amid the Bournemouth protests that Roy Wegerle had impeded the keeper. The referee thought not. Rovers then went on to make sure when Mike Newell popped in this clincher with less than 5 minutes of the game remaining. The first week in January was certainly Cup week, with this Coca-Cola Cup tie just 4 days later against Cambridge. Alan Shearer limped off the field after just half an hour, and Cambridge seemed to take advantage from this and went 1-up with this strike from about 25 yards out. Mike Newell went about his job with true professionalism and brought the game level. Roy Wegerle scored from this chance to put us 1-up. And Mike Newell was back again with this one, putting Rovers through to their first Cup semi-final in 30 years. Alan Shearer's injury was to be more serious than at first thought, leaving him unable to play for the rest of the season. But after a successful operation, Alan is sure to be playing again soon.
Things are going great, better than expected, to be honest. Everyone knows I've had the operation now, and it's just a matter of time and patience. I've got over the shock of having it done. It's all done now, and I'm recovering very well.
So you're happy and you're on course for being back next season?
Yeah, I'm happy. The specialist is happy, and the club are happy themselves. Hopefully I'll be back for the beginning of next season, but for the sake of a month or so, I won't rush it.
Now, what's it been like for you as a striker who'd scored all those goals to have to sit out half a season?
It's been agony, probably worse than the knee, to be honest. But the lads have done well. They went through a little bit of a sticky patch after I'd been injured, but you've got to give all credit to them and the players that have come in. They've done very well and shot up the league and stayed in fourth, and hopefully we can finish in Europe.
I think in the nicest possible way the team have proved that there's life without Alan Shearer.
Well, I always said that, and them always said that. People were saying hopefully for Blackburn's sake Alan Shearer never gets injured. Alan Shearer got injured, and the team have proved adequately that they can cope without me.
The first game the team had to cope without Alan was against Wimbledon. A game best remembered for an incident which left Kevin Moran with a broken nose, John Fashanu without a yellow card, and neither side with a goal to show for a hard game. The cause of all that blood is shown by this replay. Local rivals Oldham were our next challenge, and Boundary Park the venue for a good solid Rovers performance. Justly rewarded after 80 minutes with this flowing move from Wegerle, Wright, Wilcox and on to Ripley to fire home. Even without the power of Shearer up front, the Rovers were scoring, and this win puts us back on top. The FA Cup win over Crewe was to precede 4 losses over a period of increased fixtures. Playing 8 games between the 2nd of January and the 2nd of February was obviously beginning to tell on the squad. And in the game against Coventry, these 2 goals by Hendry and Newell did nothing to compensate for the 5 that Coventry scored against us. At Main Road, it looks as if things might have gone our way after this goal after 4 minutes from Mike Newell. And when Terry Phelan put this into his own goal, we could wonder if Lady Luck was just about to shine. But City hit back just before half-time. And equalised after the referee gave a penalty for this incident with 17 minutes left to play. The points looked to be about fairly shared until 6 minutes after the penalty, David White scored the winner on what was a disappointing afternoon for the Rovers. With the first month of 1993 at an end, our league position had deteriorated, but the spirit of the squad and manager were high, and there were no doubts about the Rovers' ability to push hard for a better position in the league. The first game in February brought Crystal Palace to Ewood Park for the first time since the playoff semi-finals in 1989. Palace went ahead from this Chris Armstrong shot. And despite this fine goal from Roy Wegerle, and the fact that we were awarded a penalty that Palace keeper Nigel Martin managed to save, Rovers allowed Palace to get the points when Simon Rogers struck the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday. Started well when Roy Wegerle scored this brilliant goal after 9 minutes. Then Wednesday went into overdrive and scored 4 in the next 20 minutes. An own goal by Carlton Palmer after some Rovers pressure saw the half-time score at 2-4. Whatever Kenny said at half-time sorted out the defence, but we could not recover the deficit and had to accept the result was probably enough to see our exit from the competition. The much publicised meeting between Kenny Dalglish and Newcastle manager Kevin Keegan, probably the best 2 players to ever play in a Liverpool shirt, was tipped to be an exciting game. Keegan was not to make it to Ewood Park on the day, however, being confined to bed with the flu. The game was destined to be a draw until this great individual goal by Roy Wegerle with just 1 minute of time remaining. Worth seeing again as Wegerle takes an ambitious pass from David May. Goes past Kilcline. Then Venison. And fires home. A fine goal that took the Rovers through to the quarter-final stage. A win was needed in the next home game with Chelsea if we were to maintain our position. And Mike Newell was eager to oblige.
Newell getting in behind Barnes. Oh, it's gone in! A free goal for Mike Newell, but Blackburn Rovers will say thank you very much for that.
Well, he almost looks embarrassed, Mike Newell, as he's running back to the halfway line. But why should he? The ball's just played down the channel, but Mike Newell makes it his own. Holds him off, and I think here he's looking just to play it into the box. Comes off the side of his foot. And that, you have to say, is really awful goalkeeping from Kevin Hitchcock. He should really deal with that a lot better than that.
He's got first crack, Tony Barnes. Impressing David Webb in the left-hand side of the defence. It's the right back under threat now, Gareth Hall. Wilcox beaten away by Hitchcock.
That's much better goalkeeping, wasn't it, from Kevin Hitchcock.
It's Harford. And it was just wide of the post. Bobby Mims committed to the dive. That's well for Chelsea and Barnes in particular. Harford tries again from long range. Oh, and a terrific stop. Because just for a second, it looked as though Bobby Mims was going to be caught off his line. It would certainly have gone in.
Oh, great vision, wasn't it, from Mick Harper? Showing us again he's not frightened to have a go. But what good feet, what quick feet from Bobby Mims. What a very important touch that was. The super save.
Blackburn to start the second half, hoping that they will be able to defend as effectively as they have done for much of the season. But not in recent weeks. But Wegley and Newell, that's handball on the line, and Mike Newell, a player who was sent off for deliberate handball himself this season at Wimbledon, wonders whether the same fate here will befall Frank Sinclair.
Not wonders, Martin. He's on his way off. I feel sure of it. He's on his way off. It's handball. He's gone. I think he's even apologising to the referee.
David Allison left under the laws of the game as they stand at the moment with no alternative.
Well, what a horrific start. Again, it's not a good header back. And he's on it in a flash, Roy Wegley. But there you see it. The right hand comes up. It's off the line. The penalty, he's off. There can be no other judgment there. What a start to the second half.
Mike Newell, who had a penalty saved here recently by Nigel Martin of Crystal Palace, now takes on Kevin Hitchcock. Oh, and he's missed woefully. Two sides in their second meeting of the season have only produced the one goal that we've seen today, and that was a fluke. Oh, this could be another one for Newell. The goal is gaping for him. He must walk it in, and he does. And Mike Newell finally makes a major impact on the second half, having had some mishaps, and Kenny Dalglish leads the applause.
3 points in the bag, and the last game in February, a top-of-the-table clash with the then-leaders Norwich, was a disappointing draw, but a game the Rovers should have won, but for a little luck. At this time of the season, Everton were fighting amongst the relegation teams, and their game against the Rovers was a remarkable fight back. We went in front just before half-time with this rare goal from David May. The Everton players were quick to shout offside, but they were being a bit optimistic, and the goal stood. An unfortunate own goal from Colin Hendry gave Everton an opening. And then Tony Cottee added to that, leaving us without 3 points again. That defeat at Goodison Park preceded a poor run of results throughout the month. 2 0-0 draws, the first against Sheffield United in their first meeting in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, and this poor performance against Southampton. That result enough to lift us 2 places in the league to 5th place, but hardly a good game. The team then went for a long weekend away in Sheffield, facing an uphill struggle at Hillsborough in the Coca-Cola Cup with a 4-2 deficit. Rovers went forward looking for the goals from the whistle and were rewarded after 35 minutes when Patrick Anderson picked up this ball on the outside of the area and then lashed in a shot. We were within a whisker of levelling the tie when Roland Nielsen fluffed this back pass to Chris Woods. But the luck of the bounce was with Wednesday, and that ended the half and also ended our chances. David Hurst came on in the second half and with the help of Chris Waddle pulled one back. Mark Bright then put the issue beyond doubt in a game that we were behind in before the start.
We went to Hillsborough and we were very, very unfortunate, to be honest. I mean, we're up 1-0. Roland Nielsen's played the ball back, it's hit the post, and you think well, we've got to do it the hard way, and inevitably we changed it round a little bit, and we lost our way. They scored a goal which killed the tie off, then they went on to score a second goal. And again, we didn't have any luck at Bramall Lane.
Just 2 days later, in fact, too soon in most people's opinion, we had to face another vital Sheffield Cup tie. Bramall Lane the venue for what turned out to be a hard-fought yet disappointing end to our cup hopes. We took the lead early in the second half, with Steve Livingston getting his first goal for a year. This corner was met at the far post by Steve to head home. It was the 80th minute before United could reply from substitute Mitch Ward, having to scramble the ball over the line. The game went into extra time and Mike Newell sent us ahead again. Tim Sherwood's neat little pull back allowing him to stab the ball home. United came back again 7 minutes later, and the FA Cup quarter-final was to be decided with penalties. The United keeper Alan Kelly got a hand to the first Rovers penalty. They had to score all theirs, and did. Disappointment for the manager and players.
The way we went out with Sheffield United was disappointing. I think we played well and we had the game in the bag really, and we let it slip. But, you know, like I say, if you look back on the season when we'd sort of said we'd got that far in the Cups, I think we'd have been well happy.
In March, we were going on 3 fronts, and unfortunately we were asked to play Sunday, Tuesday, which I thought was a bit unfair on the lads. But they gritted their teeth, got on with it. There they go, and unfortunately they didn't win, but no one could fault them for effort. And you need a little bit of luck just to get the result that you deserve. We never got luck in either the 2 competitions in the latter stages, so we were out. But as I say, they persevered and believed in what they were doing to be right. They could have finished their season then because there wasn't much chance of us getting relegated. But they picked themselves up and they had a tremendous run in towards the end of the season. And that's all credit to them, and I think it just reflects the pride they take in their own performances.
Yes, indeed. The quarter-final of a competition as competitive as the FA Cup is an achievement to be pleased about. But now the run was over, the league was even more important, and we had Middlesbrough to entertain next, and it was a newcomer to Ewood Park that set us up to win a point. Lee Makel making his Premier League debut, sending this pass to allow Mark Atkins to sway past the Borough defence and put Rovers ahead. Borough were using the long ball to try and overcome the Rovers' defence, but it was from a corner that they equalised, neither side gaining or conceding anything from then on. The last game of March, a month in which we had not had a win, was away to Queen's Park Rangers. Not an easy game, but one in which 3 points and an away victory would be a boost to the team.
Back to Dobson. Dobson to Newell again. Oh, and there could be something on here. Oh, it's a great goal! Stuart Ripley on 23 minutes gives Blackburn the lead. Ripley turned, had the shot. Blackburn Rovers lead by a goal to 0. Over it comes and could fall for Impey, who has a shot! And Impey wasn't far off target either. Now Impey. McDonald. Bailey. Now Holloway. Back in again. Reddy's there. And so's Moran. The shot! Oh! From Alan McDonald.
10 minutes into the second half, Rovers exploited some sloppy Rangers defending. Gordon Cowan's floated corner found Kevin Moran with time and space to spare. 2 up, and Rovers then went on to secure the 3 points in style.
Fallen for Bradley Allen, but Henningberg got it away. Rangers back in again, and here's Holloway, but Ripley takes it away for Blackburn Rovers. Cleverly dodges 3 men and feeds the ball out to Henningberg, and Berg plays it forward, and Flagger stayed down. Now is this 3? Mark Atkins. Atkins has a shot, and it's 3-0. Blackburn Rovers break away and take a 3rd goal.
Well, Mark Atkins all on his own. Nice little strike under the feet of Tony Roberts. Mark Atkins' 5th goal of the season for Blackburn Rovers. And that will please Kenny Dalglish and Ray Harford. It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Blackburn Rovers 3. Sinton with the corner. Comes across, Carl Reddy's up there with the header, and it's punched away by Bobby Mims. And the final whistle goes, and really Blackburn Rovers have grabbed the 3 points, and not a good day for Jerry Francis and QPR. So the better finishing won it on the day. Stuart Ripley's goal, the outstanding of the 3.
Each goal and every goal is important, no matter when you score, no matter what game. You know, you've just got to keep a good ratio of goals in every game, and I think that's what we've done this season. We've been scoring 3 and 4s every game. There's been no lack of goals. Scored one against QPR away, which wasn't a bad goal, turn in the box and a shot. But they've always, been relatively simple goals, really.
The win at QPR improved our league position at the end of March. The manager had been active before the transfer deadline, and there were to be new faces in the squad for the run-in to the end of the season. Liverpool were the team who were to first meet the new Rovers lineup. Kevin Gallagher was in the lineup. He'd come from Coventry in a part exchange deal with Roy Wegerle. Chelsea's Graham Lasso was our other new signing, and the Ewood fans were eager to see him play.
Referee sensibly waved play on. What a chance Gallagher has. He's free. He's away. Past the back line of defence. Squares the ball. McNeil. Goal! Liverpool caught asunder. Blackburn's fans applauding, and Kevin Gallagher has played his part in the first goal of the game on his debut. After 13 minutes, Kevin Gallagher broke away onto Ripley's pass, squared it, and at full stretch, Newell punishes Liverpool. Newell appealed for it and got it. It comes to him inside the area once more. Thumping shot, 2-0! Blackburn get their second goal, and it's Kevin Moran. Liverpool at 6s and 7s again, and Mike Newell is so instrumental in all that's happening in this match. He positioned himself at the back of the penalty area, cracked in the shot. James did his best. Moran was there. And that's a scoreline that would have been unimaginable 12 months ago even, when Blackburn were of course a second division side. But here they are now, rampaging forward again. Wilcox has the ball inside the area. It's found its way through. It's a third! And a first in Blackburn shirt for Kevin Gallagher. A marvellous moment for the Scots. The ball in from Wilcox is too good for Liverpool's defence, and Gallagher takes his chance expertly. James, the keeper, stranded, and Gallagher, who scored back in December when Coventry beat Liverpool 5-1 at Highfield Road, has repeated the trick for Blackburn Rovers. Chances now for Blackburn once more. Wilcox, can he make it 4? He can! A beautifully struck goal, and Liverpool are totally embarrassed now. Cracking goal this one. The ball is from Cowans, and on 65 minutes Jason Wilcox rides 2 challengers and strokes home a 4th for Blackburn Rovers. And Nicholas taking it for them. The header up towards Barnes, met by the defender, and Rush swings! What a goal! A magnificent strike, and even in the face of adversity, Ian Rush can still score the most magnificent goals as he does here. The free kick from Nicol. Hutchison had challenged for it, Hendry went for it, and when it came down, Rush swivelled, and that's a classic goal.
A great debut for our 2 new players to help them settle in with the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I've scored them in my debut from any career at international level a lot. Then it was a good game to enjoy and a good victory for my first game.
What about Blackburn Rovers? I mean, as a club, you probably knew very little about them, but you knew by reputation what they'd achieved this season. Did that make it easier to make your decision to move?
Yeah, I think it did. The decision was basically they've done well, and they've done well up to the Cups as well, and for the first season back in the Premier Division. And for it to sway things that way, I looked at it that they're a club that can go for things and win trophies.
Yeah, the players have been fantastic. We had a week's training, both myself and Kevin with him, and the lads have been tremendous. They've really made us feel at home, and also the people up in this area. You know, if there's anything needed, you know, whether it's we're looking for houses or, you know, if it's restaurants or going out for a drink or whatever, people have been fantastic. You know, there's always been offers made, so I feel very relaxed and at home up here.
Having looked at what Blackburn have done all season, that was the other factor. But the manager and the way he spoke to me and the interest in him, that was, I think, the main factor why we come here.
When you buy so many players as the club has, there's usually, you know, one or two who take a really long time to settle down, and there's obviously one or two failures, which is it's got to be that way. And touchwood, we've been very, very lucky with the players we've got and brought into the club, and they've been great successes. It's an exciting place to be, and the players have got a great relationship with each other. They get on very well, and if you've got a happy dressing room, then 9 times out of 10 you've got a happy team.
Anybody that comes into this club would find it an enjoyable dressing room to be in, and they certainly find that there's no arrogance, there's no cliques, there's no animosity towards anyone coming in. They're made to settle in very quickly, and if the new lads are made to feel happy, then it'll be reflected in the performances on the pitch, and that's what's happened, I think.
Our performances on the pitch were getting better month by month. Forest desperately needed to win their home fixture to have any chance of escaping the drop, but they could do nothing to stop the Rovers' onslaught.
And this is Gallagher, into the centre over, Wilcox heads down and into the net. And a sorry start for Forest. Jason Wilcox heading that crossover. Simple route to goal there, well executed by Blackburn Rovers. And it was Gallagher over on the right flank, floating that one over to the far post and finding Jason Wilcox to head home. Ball breaks for Steve Stone. This is Kingsley Black. Kingsley Black with a wild shot, well wide of target from about 25 to 30 yards. May into Newell. Good turn by Newell around Tyler, but he can't get the ball. It's Steve Stone. Rosario. Gemmell looking for Roy Keane. Comes over at Graham Lasso. Keane there. And a penalty is being given. The goalkeeper is deemed to have brought down Roy Keane. Nigel Clough, the captain, to take the penalty. The penalty coming 12 minutes into this second half. Nigel Clough. And it's the equaliser. A vital goal for Nottingham Forest. This is Rosario, beats Hendry in the air. This is Moran. Kingsley Black, tackled by Hendry, but he gets the ball to Steve Stone. Back on the ball to Charles, who makes a present of it to Wilcox. Wilcox. Through for Gallagher. This is Gallagher, but a good save by Crossley. Gallagher still on the ball, Ripley. And Ripley has scored. Gallagher really should have scored. Ripley does so with 23 minutes gone of this second half. Score Nottingham Forest 1, Blackburn 2. But it's Gallagher now. Rosario making a mess of that. He's got Ripley in support on the right. This is Ripley. And it's a goal by Mike Newell.
Another good result, and Kevin Gallagher putting in the cross for 2 of the goals. Elland Road, where Leeds United have an excellent home record, was to break our run of victories. Gordon Strachan without doubt being their man of the match. It started to go wrong for us when Leeds were awarded a penalty from this incident in the box. Strachan then scoring from the spot. Their second was also from a penalty. Strachan adjudged to have been tripped by Stuart Ripley. He then went on to convert his second. Kevin Gallagher and Mike Newell were causing Leeds' defence problems, both of them hitting the woodwork in the first half. In the second half, Leeds got 2 more, Strachan and Forrester being the scorers. Our fight back was started when Gallagher dived bravely to score this one. And Mark Atkins, who was on as substitute, got our second. Leeds came back with another with a minute to go, and we returned to Blackburn with nothing but determination to win the next home fixture against Ipswich.
Milton, he's been out of the side for most of the season. Oh, a mistake there. And Gallagher is away here, trying his luck, and oh, that was nearly another one for Kevin Gallagher, who's been in red-hot form since they snapped him up from Coventry.
Well, Phil Whelan's late inclusion inside with John Watt's injury gets caught with Gallagher pressuring him here. But this is where he tries to go around Linehan, gets a little break, but decides to take it first time. And that's so almost a perfect start for Blackburn.
Gallagher, Newell's made a run in behind here. Linehan just chopped for pace, Newell turns well, and here's Ripley with a header! And Blackburn Rovers have the lead. Made by Newell, finished by Ripley. Blackburn 1, Ipswich 0, and more problems for the club from Suffolk.
Made by Gallagher for me. What quick thinking this was from Kevin Gallagher. Newell made the run, but Gallagher was aware enough to spot it and play the free kick early. But it's here, the little dummy creates the space. Ripley's unmarked, and that's a very, very good finish from Stuart Ripley. Didn't try to blast the header. You watch the way. He just does a little dummy. Looks like he's going to check back. Watch the way Ripley guides his header into the corner. Really, it's a super finish.
So, to Newell. And there's his first contribution after the cut. Still flowing that blood as well.
Well, unlike Jason Wilcox, when he does come in from this angle onto his right foot, he's coming onto his strong part of his game. And no surprise that he brings a save from Clive Baker.
Ripley has found a way through. Oh, and it's in by Gallagher! Or was it off the defender? It may have been off Whelan.
Phil Whelan it was.
Doesn't matter much, it's 2-0 to Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, it's Ripley again. I feel sorry for Gavin Johnson because he's left on his own. No one goes to help him in that situation. Ripley, I thought, chose the wrong option. You look at Mike Newell there, but Phil Whelan in trying to clear. It slices off his left foot and into the net. But watch that. That's lovely play, but it didn't have any help. And just here when I thought, pick out Mike Newell, he picks Phil Whelan out. What a tragedy for the big defender.
Little Geraint Williams. And Milton's got a bit of room here to line up a shot. And he's put it in as well. That's some goal, that is, from Simon Milton. His first of the season. And has he put Ipswich back in business here? What a goal.
Well, I said it might take something special to get them back, but to be fair, I said I hadn't seen their head drop down. But Blackburn gave him far too much space. Look how much he's got to walk into. He takes aim. Mims gets a hand to it, but it's not good enough. It's a fabulous strike. Watch it again, look, they don't close him quick enough. He has that strike, and Bobby Mims can only help it into the corner. Now is that the lifeline they've been looking for?
Clive Baker, who's doing an Open University course in maths, useful for goalkeepers to know their angles, of course. Now Kiwomya. And Genchev here with a chance of an equaliser, and a great challenge back from Graham Lasso.
We were back on the road to Sheffield after our win against Ipswich in a mood to avenge our defeat in the penalty shootout in the FA Cup. 2 consecutive wins and 4 in the month were a great boost, and Aston Villa, who were strong contenders for the title, needed to win at Ewood to maintain that position. But so did Rovers to keep alive our hopes for a place in Europe. This fixture was destined to be hard-fought.
Neatly done by Ray Houghton, and Atkinson off the post. The ball bisecting the 6-yard area. Gallagher. McGrath couldn't make it, so just jockeys his man. And so far has done a good job. Ripley gets the cross in, and Wilcox is unmarked, and Newell scores! '18th goal of the season for Mike Newell. And it arrives in the 9th minute of this match. Good ball initially, McGrath seemed to have done the job, but Ripley then had the room for the cross. The marking at the back was poor, the header down was neat, and the finish was enough. His left foot is going to take it. He's got 6 players in attacking positions, including McGrath coming from the far side. Goes for the shot, got a deflection over the top by Dalian Atkinson. And that was certainly more difficult than the previous chance because the ball ricocheted to him. Gallagher. Newell in the middle, so is Ripley. This is Ripley for whom it's coming. Staunton for company. May. Interesting ball in. Newell gives himself some room. Good save with the follow-up. Gallagher scores. Blackburn with a 2-0 lead. Gallagher the scorer. 4 in 6 matches since he came here from Coventry. But the start of that move was that pass there from May. It was an intelligent ball in, good turn, and only the parry from Bosnich. Gallagher unmarked with the follow-up. Rather obvious. Houghton. Cowans. Wilcox. Delivered early again. This is Newell. He's got 2 onto him, and he strikes it beautifully. A really excellent finish. Struck the rising ball and could not have hit it better. But the early ball again caught them out. 2 came to him, and he really hammered it past Bosnich. It's on the edge of the area. Really hit it well across the face of the goalkeeper.
After that great strike from Mike Newell, Villa were never going to get back into the game, and from this point on looked unlikely to become champions. 5 impressive wins through April and just 3 games to go in the run into the end of the season. Our league position was good, and there was an outside chance of a place in Europe if the results were to go our way. Manchester United had been confirmed as champions before the Rovers went to Old Trafford. Oldham's 3-0 defeat of Villa securing the title for Alex Ferguson's team. It was a carnival atmosphere on the day, and the Rovers were there as gatecrashers of the celebration party. Stuart Ripley burst through the middle, and Kevin Gallagher flicked the pass from Tim Sherwood past Schmeichel after just 8 minutes. United's confidence wasn't dented for long, and they started to look like champions. First, this free kick taken by Ryan Giggs. Paul Ince finished off this move by Brian McClare and Eric Cantona. And with a minute of time remaining, Gary Pallister crowned United's glory from this free kick. With 2 games to go, results were still important, and an away match to Spurs at White Hart Lane was not an easy fixture.
Ripley with a little nutmeg there, nice little shimmy again. And a beautiful cross, and Newell's in there, and that's number 1. Blackburn have the lead. Ripley, the creator. Newell, the explosive finisher. Brilliant play by Graham Lasseau, winning the ball for Blackburn there. He's into the box and he's threading it for Newell. And that's his second of the match, and Blackburn second. Lasseau the provider, Newell the scorer. Spurs in a desperate bid to get something back here and claw themselves back in this game. Oh, nice run from Anderton, and a nice goal from Anderton.
A good result to lead up to the last fixture of the season with Sheffield Wednesday at Ewood, and memories of the defeat in the Coca-Cola Cup to be avenged.
Running with John Harkes, but Cowans wins it back for Blackburn. Now Tim Sherwood sweeps it out left, away there by Wednesday, but Rovers not to be denied, still attacking down the left. Here's Lasseau. Had a terrific game this afternoon, Lasseau. Now Wilcox driving in a ball. Away by Wednesday. Chris Waddle. Well, appealing for handball, but he's lost out there. And Blackburn attack down the left. In comes the cross from Wilcox. Sherwood volleys in. A beautiful goal for Blackburn. Lovely finish by Tim Sherwood. A popular goal for a popular player. That was quality by Blackburn. Wilcox from the left. He's played well all afternoon. He's been linking up with Lasseau. In came another sweet cross, and Sherwood finished it all. And Wilcox again. Familiar slanting run into his left, but David May tries the effort. Whips it over the bar, and Hadwood's worried. Carlton Palmer with a throw for Wednesday. Away by Lasseau, and now Wilcox. With real composure there, now runs at the defence, and this is beautiful from Jason Wilcox. Real strong runner, support from the left. It's Kevin Gallagher. Gallagher goes around the outside, in comes the cross, and still a chance here for Sherwood second, and that's wide, but another sweeping move by Blackburn, and they get a corner. Last match of the season, and a 1-0 win against Wednesday, the FA Cup finalists.
A great end to a great season, and the fans were vociferous in their applause for a team that came into the Premier League as unknowns, but were ending the season in 4th place. The last team to come 4th the season after their promotion found themselves collecting the championship 12 months later. What were once dreams for the fans of a little Lancashire club have been transformed into realistic targets by men to whose vision, ambition and talent we should pay tribute. Here's how our manager, our players, and of course our great benefactor Jack Walker sum up their view of Blackburn's unforgettable return to the first class.
I think we have to strengthen the squad. We are looking at what we need to do for next year. But to go back to what you said earlier, that has to be careful selection, because we have a very good, happy team working together. And it's a wonderful feeling, that.
I think it has been a marvellous season. When you consider, obviously, it's the first season in the Premier League for a lot of the players. I think they've done extremely well. They've done well in the league competition, which really is very important, and they had 2 good runs in both cup competitions. They can be proud of the achievements that they've had this year, and I think the people of Blackburn have got a side, or had a side this season to be proud of. They've laid a good foundation for next season now. But it's nice to have gone so well this year. But it'd be even nicer if we can use it as a stepping stone and a good foundation for next year.
Oh, it's a great goal. Shearer bangs it in.
I don't know whether I could have coped without them, to be honest. They've been a great help to me and my family. The cards and the letters were
absolutely unbelievable. I've had thousands of letters from not only from Blackburn supporters but from other supporters around the country. I'd like to say a big thank you to them. I know that's enough, but that's all I can give.
Certainly this season, Blackburn's been put on the map, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
If it goes well for the side, then it goes well for me naturally, doesn't it? And we've had, as I said, a good season beyond expectations, and everybody's enjoyed it.
It's been an overall good season, and I'm just very pleased to be part of it.
Newell appealed for it and got it. It comes to him inside the area once more. Thumping shot, 2-0. Blackburn get their second goal, and it's Kevin Moran.
In this grand game, I must admit, you can only look forward. There's no point in looking back. You're going to have plenty of years to look back, and and the memories and all that. And all I'm interested in is looking to the future and the future of Blackburn Rovers.
Inside the area, it's found its way through. It's a third.
Targets for them to do the best they possibly could. And we certainly couldn't have asked any more from any one of the players. Every single player has made a contribution. They've been a credit to themselves, and the club have been very proud of them.